A long time they wouldn't do that, guys. They damaged it.
Listen,
I already put this day on the map.
Let me show you what I did. I called before then, right? But I got your
voicemail.
The first one.
Right.
Right? I said, wait a minute. Let's go get it. I called you early. So I said, well, let me wait. And then I called back. When I called back, that's when you came, your home came. So,
but who's going up to Philly this Friday coming up? At least Saturday.
I don't know.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to pull out Saturday. Well, I'm going to pull out probably Saturday morning and get up to that event.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I really don't know because
if I leave out early, I can get out there and dance or something different later. Evans has been traveling range.
Yeah. I mean, I was.
So what's on the agenda for today, guy? Nice watch. Me better start letting them young boys see this shit like that. What? You just giving them reason, man, because this shit's been catching my eyes since you walked there. Like, damn, boy.
Y'all looking at about the other night. I'm looking at
the young boys, they're hungry, they're worrying about the transportation right now. You got the source. Yeah. Hey, they don't know that, guy. See, they don't know that. They're gonna hope that when they come to it was right.
So they're gonna look at the crowd. Look at the crowd. Oh, you're supposed to Black Panther. Yeah, he got some money. We heard about them guys. They got some money. Yeah.
That right there is why I don't wear the chain, the flag on the wheel on the stone. That nighttime guy, I should shot it. That silver chain
that we got, man, taking jobs. You paying less than the old fare. You know why? Because 417s is $68. Now you're asking, well, you paying $2 more than the old system. And if you bought a $21 card every week, you're paying $84 in a month. That shit's gonna hit.
So what I do is I already had a lump sum on my regular card anyway. So every week now, all I do is add on.
Right, but how often do you use it more than twice a day? No, well, then that wouldn't benefit you. But for someone that needs unlimited a week, they have to go to work 5 days a week, back and forth, might have to take two. They better sacrifice the $70 because you're only adding 2 more than the old system. You're not being beat by the new system. You know, so you get that unlimited card for $70. You're just paying $2 more than the old system. So it ain't really a thing.
My way, like I said.
These are on Star Wars, right? You should have people on Star Wars?
Yeah, Alicia.
Okay. How you go?
I'm doing great. I know you look familiar. I didn't know where from. See them.
Yeah.
Peace, love.
Peace. Girl. Wow. Did we win? Go ahead and open that up. Peace. 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 In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, the gracious, say peace.
Peace.
In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the most merciful, the most beloved, and the most compassionate. My name is Infinite Al-Jamal, you Allah. I want to bring some kind of clarity to the brothers and sisters that are here today. Today marks our 1-year anniversary.
Oh, praises due.
This rally is our 1-year anniversary for holding these rallies in God Park. And through the strength and the great wisdom that we've been dealing with each other, we have been most successful in doing it. The outcome of doing this has brought many, many good blessings and tidings to us in our 1-year walk together. And may I say peace to the brothers and sisters that put this together. You understand? The reason why I wanted to bring it to the attention because it just smacked me in the head last night. I was going through some history that we wrote up, that we put into the NGI, a newspaper, on Crown Heights. And when I went through it, I said, oh man, May, this is May here. This is our 1-year anniversary. just to bring it back to the memory of what's going on. Truthful Righteousness, Brother Saquon. This is our 1 year anniversary for holding the rallies here in this park. And from this here sprung up, like I said, many good things. You understand? You know, our next agenda now is to try to work someplace where we can start looking for some space. We gotta hook up, we're gonna work on that. You understand? Our next move, you understand, is snatching these youngsters out of these gangs. That was the reason why we brought this together. We're gonna start, we already did the legwork with the elders, now it's time to do the legwork with the young. You understand? Especially this year. This is what we call the hot year. This is the year that is being marked off for the beast to kill our babies. This is what we gotta look at. Now we have to focus our whole strength on this summer because, like I said, this is a hot year. This is the year the man choose to shoot our babies. And when I say shoot our babies, don't get me wrong, because we have some of our babies that are doing wrong that bring them to this. But this man does not care about that. Or his main concern is that they're young, they're black, and they're hanging out on the street corners, and if one is bad, all the rest of them is bad. And we know that's how he thinks. So we're starting to mark this off. I can take you back to the summer of '73. In the summer of '73 was a hot year for our babies. They couldn't walk the streets without being harassed. You understand? They was getting shot. So you gotta look at that this is a continuous cycle. And this is what we got to deal with in this continuous cycle. This is the reason why we're saying we are here to save face. You understand? So our next move now is to put the legwork out on these young ones. You understand? That's our next move. We just did the legwork to set up the organization that we have and set it up that it be right and exact and running right and exact. So when we get out here and do the legwork and snatch these young babies up off the street corners, we got somewhere for them to go. We got certain programs being set up for them. That's what it's based. Also, going to give all praises due to one of our young who will be opening up a class down at our brother Richard Reed's place on Wednesday. You understand? I mean, this is his reward, his blessing. And we need to back him. You understand? If we go into the class belongs to him. I'm going in to sit down and listen. You understand? We specifically, matter of fact, me and the brother Jamila specifically sat down and spoke with Richard Payne and told him we have a couple of young brothers that'll run those classes. He meant one. Okay? So all we gonna do, like we said that we gonna pass the baton down to the baby. And that's what we're doing. You understand? We are their guide. We are their guiding light. And in return, they are our guiding light. And we have to work hand in hand. You understand? So, peace to the God on his successful journey with his class. That's what the process is. We know that from this class that the God is going to start, and with the population that is coming into the Brothers Center, we know for a fact that with this class being successful, they're going to be arms reaching out for us to start classes in other places. Right? Now, the director of this center asked us to have these classes, asked us to bring the teachings in. And that's what we do. All we got to do is carry it out. But not so much of us carrying it out. What we have to do is support the God when he do these classes. This is all we've been talking about for the last year, supporting each other. If we don't support each other, nothing is going to be successful. You understand? It's true that we can walk as individuals and do things as individuals, but it's greater when we can take the individuality and bring it together as a body, and we can do things together as a team. This is what it's about. You understand? It's like a law and justice walking hand in hand. And this is how we got to deal. Father always told us that whenever we did something, we either do it in 2 or 3. This case, if something happens to one, the other can bring the information back to let the rest of the body know what went down. This is what we teach as we are building amongst ourselves, that we must always do things in 2 to 3. That's the best way to do it. This way people will begin to understand that we work as a family, as a team unit. And I use the word team unit because we all have essential duties on this team to deal with. On the baseball field, there's 9 players. And all 9 players hold different positions. And they don't clash each position, but they work together in order to become a winning team. This is how we set up our board. This is the best way of doing things. And so far, we have seen the success in our reality. And that's what we got to deal with, the science of reality. You understand? We done did the observation, and from the observation, we stepped out and did the wisdom, which brought back the supreme understanding that rose to the top. That's what it's about. You understand? On the day of knowledge now, we have showed and proved that our word is bond, regardless of whom we want. We have showed and proved that no one can step in and destroy what we have set up. That makes us a successful group of people coming together for one common cause. This is what we have to stand for. We're collating and we're stepping out and doing the networking, you understand? With all of you, all the different organizations out here. We, the members of the Nation of the God's Earth and the members of Universal Black Family Awareness are one. We are one thinking-minded people. We have one mindset. And our goal in our mindset is save faith. That's what it says. Faith.
Peace.
Peace. My name is Unique Allah. Today's mathematics on the wisdom. Knowledge. Have you not heard the love of your born knowledge of what? Alright. And that's the read right there speaks on one.
You speak up some guy?
Carrying out his word. You know what I mean? One manifesting his word and carrying it out. You know what I mean? On what? Definitely the penalty for that one who gonna carry out his word. You know what I mean? His duty. Our duty is to teach. You know what I'm saying? To teach each and every person that we come in contact with. I mean, that right there is not our job. That's the duty. I mean, that right there is what it is. You know what I'm saying? They know once you get knowledge, that right there is what your duty is. That right there is what the purpose is of getting. You know what I mean? Just like I always say, give it back. You know what I mean? So, and then the wisdom, through one's knowledge, through someone's knowledge, you see that they positive. What's in their each door. You know what I mean? And through that knowledge, you see their understanding manifested through their wisdom, through them speaking. You know what I mean? And king or kingdom, which is in the alphabet. I'm saying king is one who rules over his kingdom. So king is the one who rules over his ground. You know what I mean? If you're ruling over your ground, is by not what? Eating the wrong food. know what I'm saying, about not eating the wrong foods, meaning not being caught up in the chaos that happens around them. You know what I'm saying? The chaos within the street. You know what I'm saying? That right there is why I set my mind as objectives to working with the community, whether it's with my board or not. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get a job within that realm of working with the babies and handling things within my community. You know what I'm saying? Because that right there is where my mind is at. That right there is where my feelings are at with the babies, with the community. You know what I'm saying? So I'm seeking to find a job within that because that right there just makes my task a lot easier when babies are coming to me. You know what I'm saying? To obtain knowledge after school. That way what you help them with homework, you go through everything that they went through. You know what I mean? And the peers will catch on and grasp someone who's within the same age realm as them. See what I'm saying? Because we see the same things and go through the same problems. So therefore, that right there put me in a prime spot to grasp them. And that right there is the beauty of it. You know what I mean? Because we don't sit at home and wait for a mystery God to bring us food, or sit at home and wait for a mystery scoop to bring us anything. If we don't do things, then it won't get done. Point blank. You know what I'm saying? Point blank. And that right there is just the way it is, because that's the way it always has been. You know what I'm saying? Just like it is on the earth, it shall be in the heavens. You know what I'm saying? In the heavens is that point within your life, or what you make, you know what I mean? What you make the greatness out of. That's heaven. You know what I'm saying? Hell is the mind state that you go through when you make things bad for yourself, or when things go bad. You know what I'm saying? That right there is the hell, but it's what you do with the situation to balance it out. You know what I'm saying? Just like dealing with the justice, you know what I'm saying? One penalty or reward for their acts and deeds. That's the same scale as heaven and hell. See what I'm saying? But many are taught to believe that heaven, you know what I mean, is a place in the sky. Because I was doing some reading upon the sky, because that's very important. That's all in our lessons. Now, I mean, right now, with the clouds, right now, you know, when a cloud fills up to a certain amount of water in it, a cloud is weighing a few tons with water. That's something that I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Clouds get very, very heavy. Very heavy. See what I'm saying? The atmosphere, it's a lot of science within it. Meteorology, predicting weather, and dealing with weather. You know what I'm saying? The God Lord Graceful gave me a tape called Holes in Heaven. See what I'm saying? They got a plan.
It's all right, brother.
That they are shooting energy into space. You know what I'm saying? Through the ionosphere. You know what I mean? Which is like the bubble that protects the earth. You know what I'm saying? And then when they shoot that way up there, you know what I mean? It's basically putting holes in the ozone layer. You see what I'm saying? But the ozone layer will like fix itself back after a certain amount of time. You see what I'm saying? But they shooting so much energy up there, you know, specialists are looking at it and saying that it's gonna damage, it's damaging a lot of things. So I'm saying that the type of energy they shooting up there is enough energy to, you know, give off electricity to the world for a few years. You know what I'm saying? So when you play with, you know what I mean, the sun, moon, and the stars, you know what I mean, and you're not qualified to, then what? High explosives is what's happening. So I'm saying that God made an important point. He said a baseball team has 9 players, right? That's important because I like baseball, God, and I know the rules of the game. So when you're dealing with baseball, and it's the fact it's 9, because 9 is completion. You see what I'm saying? But even on a baseball team, there has been great baseball teams who didn't have any prime players. What I mean is any superstars. It's been teams that just work as a team. You know what I mean? Work together and become a championship team, other than having 3 or 4 prime suspects who's going to go out there every day, you know what I mean, and put up superstar numbers. But as a team, you can put up superstar numbers. And that right there is how I like to see this board, as putting up superstar numbers in that way. You know what I'm saying? Utilizing useful square miles. I mean, 29 square miles used every day on the population of the planet Earth. So within that 29 million, that right there is bringing us right back to have you not heard that your word is born, regardless of whom or what. See what I'm saying? So if your word and everybody had the same mind state and your word is going, if you're going to carry out your rules and regulations, then there will be no problem for us to utilize each other's skills. See what I'm saying? Because this year right here was a prime year for me. As far as like I learned a lot and I've been through a lot. Because going back to the same month, last year, is when I met the God. same month, same type of day. So I ain't bring no umbrella or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I was just gonna come out with my short sleeves. I put a jacket on because it was a little breezy to me. You know what I mean? Because there's no coincidence that I don't feel coincidence. Things happen for a reason. Everything has a purpose. You know what I'm saying? And it was last year on a day like this that I met her. You know what I'm saying? And then within a year, so we accomplished so many things. You know what I'm saying? But they say when you building and when you are accomplishing things, you don't feel it. You don't really see the work and progress that you make. You just feel like, you know, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. You know what I mean? But it be when the outside crowd is looking at you and they see the productivity within you. You know what I mean? So when we come together for one common cause as a board, you know what I'm saying? But I like to see it as a family. You know what I mean? As a family. You know, and then when you come under that mind state of being the family, then you can go to any level. You know what I'm saying? We can elevate higher than Mount Everest. You know what I'm saying? 29,141 feet high. You know what I'm saying? We can go further than that. We can go taller than Sphinx, miles high. You see what I'm saying? Go in deep. You know what I mean? That right there is basically peace. What it's about. You know what I'm saying? Community control. You know what I mean? But at the same time, within the community nowadays, the youth, and I tell you this from experience, nowadays behind the youth, it's a whole different ball game. You know? See, a lot of people could be caught up in the 60s. You want to be. But being caught up in the 60s is not going to get you by in 2003, baby. For real. For real. This is a whole nother ball game. Same lessons. I mean, same things we speak, but it's a whole different action. You know what I'm saying? Youth that's getting this is getting it from them people from the 60s. So they are getting it in a way that's a little different, because a lot of people that they're getting it from have matured and changed over the years, so they're giving it to them in a lot of different ways than how they got it, but at the same time, you're still getting it the way it was supposed to be given. Mathematics. You know what I'm saying? Because really, if you go back to the 60s, you had the Panther Party was hitting hard. See what I'm saying? There was a lot of revolutionary groups and a lot of things like that going on. Nowadays, you know, what's going on is crippling and blood, and that's going on. You know what I'm saying? In the 80s, that right there is when crack really hit the scene. That's what's going on now. You know what I mean? The effects that over the years, the effects that happen to the atmosphere is what's going on. So therefore, the youth these days, like last rally, Wise Jamel said something that's very true. He said the youth ain't feeling this no more. See what I'm saying? But I always feel that if you get 1 out of 10 people, I mean, that one person is going to teach somebody else and the word is still passing on. You know what I'm saying? It's still a way to teach the hard-headed. You know what I mean? It's still a way to teach the hard-headed. Because there's many days that I build right here in front of my building, God. You know what I'm saying? And apply my wisdom to people, you know, and then listen. You know, but I like when people shoot me off in a certain way because they let me know what needs to be done. You know, and how to come at them in a different way. You know what I'm saying? I'm building on the youth that I see. You know, I'm telling them about, you know, Christianity, about this, and that. They ask you questions to the point that you start speaking so much truth that they don't want to hear it anymore. Then they say something to you like, I don't want to hear that right now. I'm stimulated. Why don't you talk about how long you had your dreads or something like that? You see what I'm saying? It's like you talk about rhetoric instead of truth, but at the same time, that right there is like how many of the youth has changed over the years. The TV programs changed over the years. Everything is changing rapidly. So therefore, you know, the one who's coming, I mean, has to come like a piece of it. You know what I'm saying? That's why every day, each and every day when I wake up, you know, I look. You know what I'm saying? There's a flag right here on my wall to let you know it's time. So every day, each and every day I go out my house and I look and I build, I feel the same that I felt the day before, or even better. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that a lot of the odds are against me, that right there makes me work a lot better, make me get a lot more things accomplished. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of the same hard heads, you know, you still could get. But you're not going to get everybody. That right there is the point blank answer. You're not going to get everybody with this. This is only for those chosen, minds, those chosen thinkers. Jesus for the international builders, the universal builders. That's what this is for. And the ones who stuck with it, all the years they stuck with it, give it to me, that's definitely key. That's the point of this. Because one's mind has thoughts, right? And matter of fact, last night I was reading a lesson on the 23 science. And it said that there's 23 men, actually 24 men, who predicted history over 100 trillion years ago, right? Then it goes into that they thoughts are 99.9% accurate. Supremely accurate. Almost 100%, right? Then it talks about that they thoughts travel in a magnetic wave at 24 billion miles per second. So, when I look at these things and go through that right there, is we are scientists. Since we are scientists in every aspect. Now, you have scientists of rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes. You have scientists out of each Quran who bring forth something supreme and something great. You have one who deal with naming the stars. You call him Ahmed, right? Everybody have their own purpose. So if one's purpose is not for this, then that's not their purpose. And they wasn't a qualified scientist to come amongst and add on with us on this day. All I see here is my board members with the peace and the guy right here who come from the board. That's all we need.
That's right.
We are the qualified scientists to bring forth this right here. You see? Because before we finish, it's not going to rain too hard. So after we get home and we need to guard the bridge, we maintain. That's when there's a storm going here. I don't worry about weather. When you're a master builder, you're a master builder of what? Rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes and everything above and below. Everything above and below. By what? Utilizing that use of square miles. By utilizing the 9 players on the team. But at the same time, to be a productive team, you need to have substitutes. Right? So that right there is what we do. By building with other boys amongst in the nation, such as AUB, the brothers in Staten Island. Those are what you call substitutes, or brothers who you are pulling up from the minor leagues and bringing them into the majors, to where you are, bringing them to your level. So you gotta have people who are alternative switches, meaning if you have an injured player or someone who's not able to come to a meeting or not able to come to an important thing, you can bring somebody else to fill in their place. If I'm not mistaken, that's why we have 3 chairmen. That's why we have 2 secretaries. That's the prime reason why we have 2 secretaries. Working interchangeably. All young, working together. That way, anything happens, each person can fill in for the other. You have more than one public relations. Every position, you have more than one. Treasury, everything. You gotta have a backup. It won't work right without a backup. If any sports team if an NBA team just has 5 players and no play on the bench, they're not going anywhere. Because once one get hurt, you can't go anywhere. You can't even play no more. And that right there is how we have to utilize this organization. We utilize the young to come out and do what the young folks do, find people to touch. Utilize the older brothers for information and for them to show you how to get in that door, because they probably already been around the door. They probably already touched the knob. They know how the knob feel, you know what I'm saying? So they're gonna show you the best way to get in. And once we get in, we know. Not just one. Everybody. My success is your success, your success is my success. That's family. You know what I'm saying? That's knowledge. That's being the king over the universal kingdom, which is our board, which is the nation, which is society, which is the youth, which is the old, which we all one, large one. You know what I'm saying? One having knowledge of success. One having knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, response, not established in the pursuit of happiness. One. Large one. When we come together for one purpose, then that right there is what's bringing and showing and proving our power. But if you come as one purpose, then these powers have to be there. Equal. Equal. You know what I mean? But right now, you know, I'm real proud, you know, when we come, you know what I'm saying? But just like the old saying goes, we come a long way, but we still got so far to go. You know what I mean? And I say that because it's real. Once paperwork is out of the way, that's step one, that's the foundation. Then now the next step, we know where that's at, getting established as some type of facility. You know? But that's still showing you that it's so far we have to travel, but it's so close. You know? It's so close. The same way the sun gives you a flight on every planet. From the closest to the furthest. But it takes a little more time for it to reach another planet. Take it a little more time for it to reach Pluto. Take more time for it to reach Uranus, Neptune, all these planets. You know what I'm saying? So, therefore, with our light shining, as a board and as a nation, because believe it or not, we open up many doors. You know what I mean? And many ideas within this nation, this board right here. See, when I say brothers, somebody being stuck in the 70s and the 60s, as far as what? Not wanting to operate with a church. Not wanting to talk to a politician. Brothers will tell you they're not with politics. I don't vote, God, but you don't like the president, huh? So how stupid are you? You know? For real.
God. Right.
For real. You don't put your bid in, how you gonna make a change? So really, you know, we opened a lot of them doors that brothers is afraid to touch. And they saying that we are successful with it. And I see that when we travel abroad all the way to now. I see a lot of us going down there. The board went and I seen a lot of things that's rubbing off on other brothers, but it's peace. Because we're not here to keep everything to ourselves. We'll show you how to do what we do. You know what I'm saying? Be successful also. I'm not about that. And I know my board is not about that. You know what I'm saying? But it's peace that we came at the right time. This right here was officially established a year ago, 2002, which was, you know what I mean, all being born to the culture. You know, this year with the paperwork and everything is showing the truth. It's showing the power that we have. And it's also showing the power that the nation has. If you utilize it right. You know, it's total square miles of the planet Earth. You know what I mean? 196,940,000 square miles. So, once we utilize all that space, then you'll see the productivity really coming into effect. But if you just limit yourself to 23 million square miles, woo, would you really get accomplished what you need? You have to utilize everything. 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 You know? Some days I wake up and I look and I really think, you know, about this board and about what I'm doing and everything. Because, you know, the desire has to still be there for you to be successful in anything you do. You have to feel the same about it or even stronger the next day. You know? And I know that me, powerful, is like prime keys to a lot of this. As far as like, cause we the ones that's gonna have to uphold it years to come. Cause this still gonna be established. This ain't going nowhere. This This ain't going nowhere. I'm not trying to make this one of those coulda, shoulda, woulda been stories that I hear all the time. You know? About a school being open, about this happening, that happening, but it got taken away from us. I'm gonna do all within my power and all within my will to see that that don't happen. You know what I'm saying? Because I know many people amongst us waited too long for things to be going this good, and you can't let anything break it down. You gotta continue to build until you get to that point that you are very highly elevated that nothing can touch you. See what I'm saying? Because it can happen. You know what I mean? It could be done that your moves could be so precise that it's like everything you do is imperfect. Very perfect. Perfection. You see what I'm saying? That right there is where we are headed. And I'm here to make sure that everything stays on solid ground. That's why everybody on the board, whether you know it or not, I knew what I was doing from day one. That's why I created a relationship with everybody on the board. So I could be that bridge to come through. That bridge in the middle. See everything that's happening. You know what I'm saying? To build with everybody positive. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody on this board that I became that negative. You know why? Because I can't afford to do that. I can't afford to do that. You know? You have to, within every cipher, you have to have one who sits back and watch. You know? Just like in a boxing ring, right? You have two men fighting and then you have one who's like the referee. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be the referee with a lot of things. But it's peace, because I enjoy the job. The referee is not on any person's side. The referee is there to make sure it's a clean fight. Make sure everything is going to go properly. That's why I do what I do. Because I enjoy it. I enjoy this board. I enjoy this nation. I enjoy coming out here in the rain, sleet, hell, or snow to build with my nation. Because that right there is what I'm supposed to do. That's what everyone is supposed to do when they say they're about this. You know? Nothing get in the way of that. You know what I mean? Today is what? Mother's Day. Peace. You know? Plan on going in the house with my family too. Also, to build my old earth. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I obligated myself to this. So I gotta balance that time out. I mean, it's ways to do many things at once. Someone's taught me that. Ways to get things done faster than you normally would by utilizing your time properly. You know? Now right there is why this is born. This done went from just being to being born. You know what I'm saying? It went from existence to bringing forth energy, power. That right there is why I see where this board comes from. Because it went into existence the first time we sat in 942 St. Mark's Avenue when we were starting to go over what positions we were supposed to be given. I remember that like it was yesterday. You know? And each one disqualified themselves in the position that they felt they wanted to hold. Right? And once we got them positions, that right there was their existence. You know? That was their exist. But the existence came from the fact of what we did afterwards. The power that we brought, the things we made born, the things we brought forth into existence. But in order to bring something into existence, you have to first exist. That right there is why we don't sit at home wait for Mr. God to bring us food. You know? Because for 379 years, they have advocated that kind of God. So instead of just existing, you have to see that existence within yourself before you can make anything born. So God said, something born, something got to break. You know, I really sat down and I really analyzed that. Right? Born means a lot of things. You You know, but the first thing that it means is to bring forth into existence, right? But one has to be on a certain level of building to understand something's born, something's got to break. Because you have to get past this existence part first before you can get there, right? Like, if I'm dealing with my young seed, who's coming to the very near future, you know what I'm saying? I say, bring forth to existence. The God is saying, some born, some got to break. Right? Both of them sound. See, but we know that once you bring forth something to existence, you have to leave something behind. So it has to break off from something. That's like the second level up. That's the after effect of bringing something to existence. Like a baby is born, you know what I'm saying? When the baby comes down the canal, you know what I mean, and it's still connected to the umbilical cord. That's something born, and the thing that breaks is what? First the water will break. You know what I mean? Then you cut the cord. That's another thing that's breaking. When you cut the two things being broke. You know? So all of it makes common sense. That's why we come together to show and prove our understanding on today's reality. See, today's mathematics is a wonderful thing to say, it's a wonderful thing to feel, see, but it's today's reality. Today's reality is reality. That's what we're living out. It's real. But the mathematical order then is always from 1 to 9. So it goes back to the beginning. And once it goes back to the beginning, God, it always repeats the cycle. Always repeats itself. You know? The reason why I left it off is always repeating itself. But this right here is something that we did last year. Same type of budget, the same everything, and repeat itself. I'm not sure it wasn't on the same exact day. But it's close to this day. You know, it's close to this day. In fact, I lost the universal flag that day. I lost the flag that day, the little pig. Which was to the suit. I lost that. You know? We soon got it back. That's how everything repeats itself. But to the point of me losing the flag, coming into the same month rally that we had here, the first one to me, coming into this rally, giving flags away to brothers. See, it repeats itself, but it also corrects itself. And everything that's supposed to be will happen. You know what I'm saying? Because God is the one who sees. You know what I mean? At the front, you see the good judgment within yourself. At the end of the night, we have to sit back and analyze ourselves to see if we did all within our power and all that we could that day. For this nation, first, before you can do anything for the nation, you have to first love yourself. You have to first do for self. First, before you can do anything for the nation, you have to first love yourself. You have to first do for self, to do for family, before you can go outside your family to do something for somebody else. You know? I was always taught to keep mathematics very simple. You know what I mean? Very simple. If I come out here and I build, you know what I'm saying? Anything I advocate, you have to be able to go to my household and ask them a question upon what I spoke about and see if they give you the same type of answer. If not, then it's not real. It's not reality. It's misbelief. I don't deal with misbelief. I deal with truth. You know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with truth, it's only one truth. There's not one truth today and another truth tomorrow. Truth is truth. The reason why they say truth brings power because when something is so crystal clear and someone cannot see it, then that's giving you power because they can't see what you see. That's giving you a lot of power over them because you could move them how you want to, right? So if I come out here and I'm building, you know, and I build with you and I say, yeah, God, I'm about teaching my family, right? Or teaching a baby. You know what I'm saying? Then I have to advocate that everywhere I go. First in my household. First where I live. That's the first thing, first place you have to make right before you can come outside that cipher to make anything else right. You know, and that's how I was taught. That's how I was taught. You know, the other night, yesterday, matter of fact, I I'm in the guard Al Jamal rest, you know, and we building, and this brother comes in there, right? And this brother, you know, he came in. I said, you know, I never seen him before. I'm like, yeah, you know, what's your name, dog? You know, B. So he asked me, that I know 120. So he asked me yesterday's degree. I told him, okay, boom, first things first. So when we get into it, this right here show you somebody stuck in certain terminology. Like this is religion. Like I can't bring my own understanding into existence. I have to say what would make you happy because you 31 years old and I'm 21. So what? What that mean? That mean I can't show you something new? I mean? Because I'm in universe and your name born culture or whatever. You know what I mean? So we go into it, I'm building, and I'm talking about cremation, right? So I was taking a cremator as a brother, which is a characteristic of a man. Nobody. You know, the biggest, the strongest, the loudest, and the loud, I don't care. The truth is truth. Truth forget all that. You know what I'm saying? If you speak the right words to someone who holds a gun to you, you can stop that bullet from coming out the barrel if you know what to say. First, before you do that, you have to look and judge someone and see the characteristics within somebody. You know? If it's a money lover, promise him some money. He won't shoot you. He want that cash, especially if he knows you got it. You understand? That's how society works. The monetary policy is very deadly, see, but what little do a lot of people know is that in a minute it's not going to be any more money. As far as paper money. You know, you have to see things happening while it's happening. Why do you think they took food stamps and put it on the car? You know, after a while, you're not even probably gonna have a key to your house. You're gonna have a car to get in your house. The same car that they had access to get right up in your shit. For real.
Just laughing,
And they
guys.
show you on the movie. And the change that they make is gonna benefit those that are what? Wealthy. Not those who are striving day to day to make things happen. That's the truth. You know? So until you get Bush or Bloomberg and all of them out of office, then you're going to see the same stuff. You're going to see the same things. You know what I mean? Because then you go into, matter of fact, I'm going to take it there. You go into what you call the illuminated one, which is the Illuminati. When you go into them, a lot of brothers don't know the reality of that. And you use probably a lot of products and a lot of services that's made by them. You know? You go to the gas station, you go to Shell, guess what? You bought from somebody who paid, you know what I'm saying, Illuminati. I mean, that's their shit. That symbol, the rising sun, and so on and so on, man. All this is signs and symbols, man, that they show you. You know, that they show. So when you go into that, then you gotta go into the weekdays. But damn near all the weekdays came from some Greek god or something. You know, from a Greek god, like Saturn's Day, which is Saturn's Day, which is the god of Saturn, Greek god. You know, the same one who ruled over the Jews, same reason why they wear the yarmulke on their head, to worship that same person also, you know what I mean, to worship the Pope who ruled over them, give them respect. That's why the Pope, you know what I'm saying, the cathedral churches, when they had a big hat on, they have a little yarmulke under it. All that has significance to it. All of it. So when I say study, when I study the science of everything in life, I study a lot of things. Not just one funny, see? It's a lot deeper than that, a lot further. And the ones who caught and seen the picture for what it was, went to all these books as the years went on. You know? You'll just be bored every day building on, you bring everything back to 120. I bring everything back to that. Because it's all in degrees. Degrees is 100%, right? Exactly. You know, but you have to read all these other books too. You have to get some history on it. You know? And some brothers are so caught up in yourself that you say, history, his story. I don't need that. All I need is 120 what? What you think that is? History. History. A lot of people that read, quote, speak in 120 lectures had different names than a lot of these other books. Y'all cool. Go to the Bible, what's the name? Jacob. Kusa. Moses. All these people. Jesus. You got another name too, Osiris. You know? All of these names that we use is history. That's what the Bible is. The Bible is a magnificent history book. A history book. What you learn from watching, from reading it, you learn a lot of things about what's happening in society. You learn a lot of things from that book. That's powerful. See, but when you use that book to transform the mind of the people to think, or I would rather say to believe, because they believe, and in the middle of that is the lie, because they first was into existence, and then they tricked them and enslaved them and beat them in the head with a hammer and all kind of shit, you know what I'm saying, to have them believe in something. That's why they say, who do you believe in? That's not saying it's real. That's not saying it's reality. You know? Today it's knowledge, you're being born of wisdom, so I'm manifest my wisdom in all type of ways. Because it's real like that. So when you believe and you're going into being and believe in something, that right there is when one happy. I don't believe anything. Somebody say what you I believe nothing. I know or I don't know. Or I'm soon to find out. I will find out if I need to know. One shouldn't speak on anything can have some facts behind it. That's why we read. That's why it's important, you know what I'm saying, to read these so-called Christian books, you know, like you learn a whole lot about your lesson. You learn a whole lot about what you study. You know? They say don't take things on face value, you know what I'm saying? Face value meaning that you didn't put any type of study into it. You know, you told me it was a rock, and it was a rock, you know. But after I go, if you'd have went and studied up on it, you could have found something else out about it, that it wasn't, you know, what you thought it was. You know, you thought it was a rock. It was something totally different. It was a beetle. But he said it was a rock, so that's what it was. When you go all them years, then you playing catch-up. You're playing catch-up. You know what I mean? Because these books that are put out in society, that right there is why they say the way to keep something out of a black man's mind is by putting it into what? A book. That's a powerful thing right there, because most black youths, when they coming up, they don't want to read. That right there is the worst subject that they in. Reading. You know? Reading. And if you don't read, then, all right, reading and English goes together. So if you can't read properly or you don't want to read, but you can, that right there is limiting your English words. That's limiting your vocabulary. That right there is totally casting you out and limiting your communication skills. Because when I want to speak to somebody, people in high places don't want to speak to a person who can't communicate. You know? You can't be trying to build something or establish something you can't communicate. So that's important, reading. You know what I mean? I'm saying that because I'm giving that to everybody, you know, who feel that they don't have to read or that they don't need to read because they so-called master 123. See, but I was taught that one who feel he mastered something ain't master a damn thing. Because there's always somebody who in the same degree, the same lesson, the same thing you're speaking about, who knows something that you don't know about. That's no fact. You know? Motherfuckers can be as cocky as they want to be. You know what I mean? I'm not the smartest guy. You know what I'm saying? But I know, see, when you know, I just sit back and look and watch. Sometimes there's no reason for me to go into a certain subject with somebody if I know I don't know it like that, so I'm going to listen to them. Then you take that and you end up passing that on to somebody else as something that they didn't know. You know what I mean? But reading, comprehension is very important. You see, because really, another thing you're going to psychology. Right? In psychology, it's a certain thing called ego and the super ego. right? When you go into the id, the ego, and the superego, the id inside of your mind is not a form of consciousness. It's like the little kid in you. You know what I'm saying? The id in someone's mind is what makes them just do things. For a prime example, I was feeling the other day, like, that's like when you're a young brother, you go in the store and you're about to shoplift. Your id in your body is what tells you, go ahead, do it. You could get away with it. You're not gonna get caught. Then your ego is somewhat of the dominant personality within a person, the dominant mind state. You know, that tells them to go ahead and do it. See, but the superego within someone's mind is like that supreme high of consciousness that they had to tell them, I can go to jail for this. See, but once one learns how to utilize their mind and expand, then we all will become better. You know, but always going for improvement. See, a lot of people never got past that ego stage. They never made it to the superego. They don't have a superego. They don't have a supreme form of consciousness within their mind that's telling them the first two is wrong. This is the truth. This is the understanding. This is what it is. That's like the 5 levels of consciousness. You know? I mean, when you're on infinite consciousness, that right there is the superego. That's the mind. That's what's telling you that this is the right thing to do. That's why we come together and build. You know? I mean, God once told me that you have to break everything down. You have to have a young brother amongst you and you send them all to different schools, all to different places, so they come back and bring it back, and that's what I'm doing. I learned all this in school. Place that I was supposed to go. Place that I went for myself. Went on my own. You know what I'm saying? To build. To add on. You know? Everything come back to these lessons, but you must understand, first you have to read to get all of the hidden information that they hide from you. You know? To get all the hidden information that they hide from you. And if you did, then you would know that this government, as far as voting and all that, this is what you call a fascist government. Meaning, the same thing that Hitler was trying to do is the same crap Bush trying to do, or that he was doing. A lot of signs and symbols to show you everything. On the back of the dollar, it shows you the axe with all the sticks coming down. That's a fascist symbol. You know what I'm saying? Bush done had meetings that he had 2 of them on each side of him. You know, just looking and don't know what the hell going on. Because they don't read. You gotta read the right information. This is such thing as reading garbage and rhetoric to reading the right thing that you need. I'm not here to read every book out. But I'm gonna read what I need to. The books that I want to read that's gonna better me. You know? Because the true reality is life. Life is reality. Every day there's a star born. And it just happened to be on one of the magnificent days I was born. And I'm here.
So, by the divine wisdom comes stimulation of the mind. In order to have things in cohesiveness, wisdom has to be born. Today's mathematics is knowledge not. That's wisdom. Wisdom is the way. Application of the wisdom to the culture is the quality of the knowledge, which is God. The control of things is in accordance with the mind. The mind in itself is our law. Now we all here, we're present, we're accounted for. So that word is born. The elements cannot stop it. The elements, as you see, is in complete control. Control is something that's divine and is calculated. There is no mystery in accordance to why things happen, when they happen, and how they happen. The universe bears witness to the order of itself. See, there's no coincidence. This is why we are the nation of gods and earth. I stood here and I watched people walk by us and mystified. They were mystified to see why don't people standing in this circle and with all the wind blowing and the drops of rain, and they just standing. What are they doing? What are they? But see, look at the science of life. Science of life is everything. Love, peace, and happiness. Control, determination. This is what we're showing here today. We're showing determination in our sense of collectiveness. We're showing determination in our sense of our ability to do what it is that we have to do. God said, and that's something I didn't know, knowledge born. Today is the complete cipher of the days that the brothers put what they put together as far as having these rallies here. Today make one complete calendar year. There's no coincidence why we're here today. This is power. This is power. And all I'm trying to show you is that we control all this. We control all this, man. There's no coincidence why the elements is in check right now. Sound travel. Sound travel. And it has to travel in an order and in a fashion that can control things. It has to come from within oneself, not from without. It comes from within. All things are manifested from within. It was from within that God said, let there be light. It wasn't an exterior manifestation. It was an internal manifestation. So the key to our success is where we are right now. We here. We showed up. We are present and accounted for. And for that, all praises are what?
You.
The elements didn't keep us from coming here today. And the elements not going to stop us from being here today. Because we are in what? Control of the elements. It's all in the flow and the calculated wisdom that you present to the elements. It is in the way you manifest and you bring out what is from within you that will control that which is without you. There's no coincidence, man. Keep showing you all that. There's no coincidence. There has been so many times within a cycle, long before this. This is not nothing new to me. This is nothing new to me. The greatness of my mind and the greatness of my Father's mind is what? One. Anything I do it in the name of Almighty God or what? Love. Because that's who's giving me the power to do these things. I'm not spooked out. I know when the wind stops blowing, it stops blowing because I what? Commanded to do so. I know when silence falls, it's because I what? Commanded to what? Do so. That don't make me no greater than any of y'all. Because the reason I what? Did that was because we were all in what? Common what? Cause. It's just that I what? Centralized it. We all here for the same common what? Cause. This is how we do things. We do it collectively. I can't do it or what? Alone, but together we what? Can. That's why we formed this what? Board of directors. A mastermind what? Allegiance. The power of what? One or two or three minds is greater than that, they're what? One. Like the brother said, when you got, what, more players on the team, you got a greater what? Obligation, a greater way of ability of what? Doing things. It extends you out into a further dimension. What I'm trying to show here, man, is that we are in control of all this, man. Ain't no joking about this. We in control of this. All we got to do is what? Make the mathematics flow. And we got to be truthful within our what? Selves. Within our hearts, we got to know that we're in charge of this. We can't think it and dream it and just talk about it. We got to show and what? Prove. I came up here at the hour of wisdom, and the parliament, there's knowledge now, because I wanted to what? Knowledge and see how the wisdom would have what? Reacted. And it reacted in accordance. It reacted in accordance. And I'm the third one to come into the South and what? Manifest the what? Wisdom. There's the power. So all this is a complete what? South of ourselves. We are in charge of this, man. There's no coincidence when we meet here the way we meet here. And we go through the South the way we go through the South. There's been times when the sun just burst out on us. Show for and prove our what? Power. And just a moment ago, we seen how the calculation, man, of time and space. Calculation of time and space. We see in the reaction. To every cause, there's an opposite and equal reaction. The acknowledgement of that action is what makes word bond. Have you not yet heard that your word shall be bond? Dollar, you won't work. And again, I like to say, all praise is due to all of you. Because it's a direct result of us being what? Here together, that the manifestation of mind is born. There's no one individual. It's the unification of us all coming together. Like our Father said, you want to see me? You got to do is come together. The mind is one cohesive factor. And how we control it and how we go about making it manifested to the world, this is a manifestation of the fashion in which we are ordered to. I'm telling you, man, great things is going to come from us, man. All don't see yet, like I keep saying, keep coming. More will be revealed. Peace.
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 Today's degree is knowledge. Knowledge is born wisdom. For me, knowledge means make a commitment and carry it through. That's what we did for a whole year, carry it through. And I'd like to say congratulations for making the year. But when we look at that year, it's like a hill. Half what we dealing with, big ass mountain. We still at the bottom of the mountain. But the only thing is everybody else done went home. There ain't nobody gonna do no climbing but us. Nobody but us. Now, in my time in the nation of gods and earth, I've belonged to a lot of boards. Every board I get on, I make a quick analysis of the members. A lot of times I quickly see that I'm gonna be the last one standing. All my life and everything I've done, I've been the last one standing. I'm an extremist in everything I do. There is no middle area. Either I'm gonna go all the way or I'm not going at all. I cannot be forced to do anything. If I want to do it, I'm gonna do it. And this is what I see in these numbers. First of all, it's raining. What are we doing out here? We build it. We made a commitment and we stick to it. When I saw the rain coming down this morning, I thought about something else. One morning I come out here, it's about 4 feet of snow out here. I come out to hang signs on the trees where the rally's gonna be. The signs are already hung on the trees. And that told me somebody beat me out here. We are committed to what we do. So I can look around. Now I can see I'm not going to be the last one standing. There's always going to be somebody standing there with me. Always. This is how we commit ourselves. This is how we commit ourselves. We are no longer alone. Now, the God mentioned North Carolina when we went out to that regional convention. I seen it out there too. That was a big indication for me. The black family wasn't doing this by ourselves. We got groups all over the country doing the same thing. And we are right there with the best of them, leading the way. So yes, we are in the big league. Matter of fact, we in a league of our own. Nobody competes with the nation of God's earth. Who else would be out there in the rain? Nobody. Nobody. Who would come out here in the snow? We done showed and proved what we about. We done showed and proved. Each time we go to a meeting, I see my older brothers get up and start doing work. Automatically, I know it. I'm not by myself. I'm not by myself. I used to belong to another board in another borough, and there was only 4 of us building. Now our name went throughout the nation, but it was still only 4 of us building. But we gave props to the whole board when we did something. A brother came, my physical came to me one day and said, God, in all the stuff you do, why do you always put the Oasis on it? And I told him, because I'm a member of the Oasis Youth Center. What I do, I don't just do for me, I do for them too. Same thing with my other 3 members. When they do something, they put everybody's name on it because they're a part of it. But here, we don't have to falsify documents. All the members participate in what we do. All you have to do is look around when we go somewhere, and you see black family participators. Not only do we participate, sometimes we got to get in there and lead the way. We go to other people. We went to a meeting, I believe it was last week before. Last week. We get in the meeting and the chairman of the meeting tells us, y'all might as well do your thing, make use of this time. My reply is, we always do. You put us in a room together, we gonna start building. If y'all don't have your stuff together, we gonna do our thing. We gonna do our thing. Just so happens, we outnumbered her board members. We had more people there than they did. So that let us know our commitment to it. As soon as we get in there, she wanna turn it over to us. Y'all can make the presentation now. We didn't come to make a presentation. We come to see what it's all about. We come to see what it's all about. So in our year anniversary, as I said, we still at the bottom of the mountain. We have a long way to go. We have a long way to go. But rest assured, when you get to the top, look around. You're going to see these same faces up there. You're going to see these same faces up there. Because we are dedicated to what we do. This is knowledge, have you not heard? Anytime you make a commitment to a man and you break your word, life is always given. It may not be your life, it may not be his life, but it will be the life that you do together. The life that you do together will no longer be the same. Now when you tell this man something, he's looking at you. You don't know whether to believe it or not. He can't trust you anymore. I always go to the full extent when my word is at stake. And when my word is at stake, I didn't say word is bond. Something came out my mouth. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. It don't take you saying, I give my word. All it means is, okay, I'm going to do what I say I do. And as men, this is what we should do all the time, what we say we're going to do. When I got knowledge of self, I made a commitment to the nation of God and earth. I said I will always live this out. No matter what happens, I will live this out. Something happened to me, and I thought I would get to a point in my life where I wouldn't be able to live this out. That point is death. So I started making assurances, even in death, I will live this out. I went to my own word, told her how I wanted to be better. Don't put no cross on my casket. Don't even take me into no church. the Bible tells us God will not enter into a church. What's going to take me in there for? What's going to take me in there? I say that because a lot of us are returning home. And we get Christian funerals. That don't fit. Not when you have a man struggling all his life for the nation of gods and earth. How you gonna bury him in that form? We can't have that. So we have to make a change. 6 years ago, a brother came to me and said, oh, not even an oligarch, just a God that I look up to. And he said to me, God, I know the Father taught that we shouldn't get married under the government. So with that same thought, we need something in place to marry our own people. So that we can do this for ourselves. Same thing with funerals. We need something in place where we can do this for ourselves. A God passed recently, I believe it was last month. And they called a Christian brother in to preach the funeral. Now this brother was God. Even in his church, he teaches the science of everything in life. I have Christians running up to me knowing lessons because this is what he's teaching in that church. So when they told me this was the brother that was performing the funeral, I can understand that to a degree. But that ain't good enough for me. That ain't good enough for me. Because if he was just in truth, he wouldn't have went the other way. He wouldn't have went the other way. He'd still be true to this. He'll be trying to do what he did in that church in this nation. I'm not of the mind where I take my energy and put it somewhere else. I don't do that. I give my energy to the nation of gods and earth. Everything I do is centered around it. In order for me to do something with love, it has to be centered around the nation of gods and earth, not around anything else. I can't commit to any other society because I gave my word to this one. When brothers approach me like that, I have to let them know where my heart is. My heart is with the nation of gods and earth, and that's it. And that's it. When I step into another organization, I build for that organization, but I bring people out into the nation of gods and earth. I do not get changed. I do not get changed. I'm like that cucumber that goes in the vinegar. I come out the same way because I'm in a bag. Bag is the nation of gods and earth. So we have to be mindful when we deal with other things. People will always attempt to change us. Try to make us a part of what they're dealing with because they see the energy. They see the energy that we possess. I was always taught that's a blood sucker. I want your energy to do something else. So once again, say congratulations to the gods and earth out here in Kusa Heights for maintaining for a year. For maintaining for a year. But keep in mind, Islam has no said birthright. So we have to continue on and on and on. On and on and on. We cannot fall off. Every day, when we do something in the name of the nation, pardon me, in the name of Black family, I always wondered, will we always make it? Will all of us be a part of it? Will all of us continue to strive on? But then we sure improve that. We sure improve that. Each time we do something, you see more and more people participate. This is what it's going to take to do what we got to do. This is what it's going to take. I've never been a person to always be on the phone. Early on in knowledge yourself, I learned that being on the phone causes problems. Because we sit around and cite each other, and we pass that on. Next thing you know, we have a lot of disgruntled gods and earth in the nation. We don't need that. We don't need that. I've always been the type of person you want to build with me, let's do it face to face. I had to tell the God who went off on me about it, because I told him I don't teach on the internet for that same reason. I don't know what you're doing. You could be reading from a book. While I'm typing, you in the kitchen fixing a ham sandwich before you get back to the keyboard. I want a person face to face. When we learn that sound travel at the speed of 1,120 feet per second, it's telling you more than just what sound travels. If you understand that degree, you understand the sound travel on vibration. On vibration. I can feel that vibration over the phone. I can see your body language over the phone. All of this is a part of wisdom. All of this is a part of conversation. Conversation. This is why I don't talk on the phone. Plus another thing, I had knowledge for 31 years. I know my phone is tapped. I know that. I know cell phones give you free airway. I can tap your cell, ain't nothing you can do about it. Nothing you can do about it. So I'm very cautious of the things that I say. When I teach, I always teach brothers and sisters that you never know who's going to be sitting in that judgment chamber. So be careful who the road is. Know your brother. The only way you're going to know him is to participate in the things that he do. Help him out. If you see somebody doing the task, just don't sit back and wait for him to complete the task. Find out how you can help. How you can help. A lot of people are good thinkers, not good doers. So a good thinker needs somebody that can do. This is a law of justice. This is why we travel in paths. What I don't see, you will see. This is what's meant back to back. This is the way we do things, back to back. Why? This gives us 360 degrees. 360 degrees. We can see everything. This is the same way we should work, 360 degrees. I did a task in my office last week. I created a circle. At every quarter of that circle, I put a job that I wanted to complete. I had 4 jobs in that circle. Now all I had to do was stop here, do a little something, stop here, do a little something. And by the time I complete the cipher, I got 4 things completed. 4 things completed. I'm a New Yorker. I never do one thing at a time. That's how we do. We travel, we think. We eat, we watch TV. We always doing more than one thing at a time. All we have to do is make sure that it's a productive thing that we're doing. And we get these tasks done. God told me I need to get some rest. He knows I'm going to push it to the limit. I'm going to tell him I rested. But I'm going to push it to the limit. I'm going to push it to the limit. It's the old saying, if not you, then who? If not now, then when? It's me and it's now. It's me and it's now. This is the time. We won't have time to sit around and wait. My lesson tells me I don't sit and wait for anything. If I'm not going to sit and wait for a God, I'm not going to sit and wait for no man. I'm not going to sit and wait for no man. I'm completing the task. Because I know while I'm working, somebody else is going to be watching. And they might have the heart to say, let me help him out a little bit. Let me help him out a little bit. So we have to keep on working. This will be a steep hill. So we're all familiar with hills and mountains. That ain't new to us. We struggle on a daily basis. A lot of times we struggle to make things right to practice. What we have to do is take that energy and direct it into a positive force. In Black family, we're lucky enough to have brothers that direct energy. That direct energy. And they're good at it. They're extremely good at it. Now you'll hear me speak about older brothers in this unit. They only may be 6 years older than me. But when I say older, I mean older in experience. Older in experience and the things that they do, and the things that they say, and the way they carry themselves. These are men. So I watch the example. So when I'm out there pushing it to the limit, I know I got, as God put it to me this week, I got troops behind me. I got troops behind me. And they just waiting to go to war. You put something in front of them, they attack you. I've seen them do it. The old men, I've seen them do it. Each task that we put up in front of me, in front of us, pardon me, they on it. They on it. We came up with one job we wanted to do. Every day the guards asking me, "God, you on top of that, right?" I'm on top of that, God. So that just lets me know, don't just be saying it. Don't just be saying it. Because each one of them going to expect me to show and prove. And this is what we do. We show and prove. We show and prove. Only thing that gives me the desire to show and prove is watching this. Is watching this. This is a nation where I've seen many older brothers fall by the wayside. And when I say fall by the wayside, they got their book of life with them. They quote lessons, but that's all they doing. You don't build a nation like that. You build a nation by participating, by adding on, by coming up with ideas, implementing those ideas. That's what builds a nation. So this is what we have to do. We cannot rest, not for one moment. Not for one moment. Only time I can rest is when I got this brother in the room with me and he's doing work while I'm resting. That's the only time I can rest. That's the same way I learned one point, in my sleep. In my sleep. With my physical right there by the bed quoting it to me. Quoting it to me. The next night, he is asleep. I quote 120. This is the way we were taught to do it. This is the way we were taught to do it. Live this. This is all you're gonna know. And this is all I know to this day. Till this day, this is all I know. Brothers try to get me to commit to other things. Yo, God, where the nation's gonna benefit from that? No, God, we doing a private thing. See ya. Got to go. Got to go. I don't belong to a private nation. So I can't be doing private things. If you do it in the dark, it's gonna be revealed in the light. When my name gets called, I was told this once before. Father had two books. A book of good equality and a book of bad equality. So to go along with this statement, I have good sons and I have bad sons. And I've always said I want my name in the book of good equality. I don't have to worry about being one of the good sons because I work hard at that. So I know this is what I am. I'm one of the good sons. When my older brothers tell me, yeah, brother's doing a good job, that lets me know I'm one of the good sons. So I don't allow no man to step to me no other way, but right and exact. But right and exact. So when you add on, when you come out to Kusa Heights, be prepared to add on. We're going to be examining everybody. Our examination is just to see if you can survive. Or do we have to tie a rope to you as we climb that hill? Sometimes this is what we got to do. Tie a rope to people and drag them along. It's an old saying. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You all may know my saying. Now you can't make him drink. But if you drag him out far enough, he got to take a sip. He got to take a sip. Now I'm willing to drag you out. Once you say you come in the name of the nation, God, and earth, I'm going to put you to work. I'm going to be mindful enough to know that I may be giving you too much to do. And that's when you get your chance to relax and not step up. Keep in mind, to whom much is given, much is required. We've been given a lot through these older brothers. Peace.
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 I want to bring a little science again. Appreciation, congratulations to the 1 year anniversary of us holding our rallies up here. To the members of the board, if they are listening, to the members of the board, understand that this is our 1 year anniversary to the rallies up here. Coming in June will be 1 year anniversary to the board of Universal Black Family. 1 year, come June. I wanted to bring that to the attention to the board members and the people that are here. 365 days travels at a terrific speed of 186,000 miles per second with 1,120 feet per second. That's how fast the year went by. And we're gonna have to do something about this for this board's anniversary. I think we might do it at our rally that we hold out here in the park. A little picnic or something. You understand? A little socializing. Taking them babies and running around and getting tired or something. And we owe this to ourselves. Because we work hard, whether you realize it or not, we work hard to reach 1 year. I have been on board that was set up by brothers in this nation that has not reached 6 months. And my hand goes out to the members and to the supporters and to the participants who back us for the work that we're doing with the praises of Almighty God Allah. Universal Black Family has taken the dream that the Father laid out for us and made it become a reality. We made it become living mathematics. So, with no further ado, I want to also say Happy Mother's Day to the earth that is sitting out here and standing out here also. And I would like to also tell us that we will cut this rally or bring this rally to an end. But before I do that, I'm going to clarify something. 1 year ago to our first rally, it rained. We brought out 20 members on that first rally. 1 year ago today, we have about 20 people on our sign-in sheet, right? 17. That's to show you that it ain't no stopping us now. It also tells you that God is out there in rain, hail, snow, and earthquake. That's the sign that we brought about. And I extend appreciation to the people that are coming out. Peace.
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 Today's mathematics is knowledge now. I think I just want to share
Who you be, guy?
the joy of knowledge, because that shows that we are one. Because we teach that although we are the God, it ain't but one God. So that's the knowledge that one is missing. I used to always think when I was God, you know, when you be traveling, they be saying, knowledge. You know, and how I relate that, how I decipher that, you know, how I take that in, because I was seeing the peace that was given. And so that means that I was acknowledging the peace with magnetic, those who recognize peace, because that's the harmony of our knowledge, our collective knowledge. That is the harmony, because that's what peace means, harmony. Your knowledge and my knowledge, meaning you want what I want and I want what you want. This is the knowledge of the building. Because it is time to build. It is not so much that we got to say what we about anymore. It's time for us to do what we are about. That's what builders do. We have teachers, we have builders. It's just like anything. When you go in the street, you have different departments. So you have men that have different skills and different levels of skill. Now is the time that the builders must come together and build. We can no longer talk about this nation. We must now build this nation. We can no longer sit by and allow those who have knowledge not do nothing with it. Because word is born. And whether you know it or not, when your word is not born, you affect life. You not only affect, you may not see it among those that you have gave your word to, but it is the life that around you is affected. Because that is called cause and effect. So when you do not live out it, because now I can't trust you. Because if you cannot live out the things that you say, then I know that abroad you are not living it out. So it's time for us to live out Allah's mathematics. If you love that knowledge, which is our Father, then you call yourself the knowledge. Then you must do as your Father does. Because you're the one that said you are the Son. And in our mathematics, it say all this is caused by the Son of Man. That is the build the tree. So if this nation is the prophet, you must cause it to happen. So that just means that you can no longer act what this nation is doing for you. But you must show and prove what you are doing for this nation. Because that is the only way that you can be included in the equality of the Father. If we have good sons and we have bad sons, this is to tell you that mathematics say that when you are God, it is time for you to take this to the next level. And that is to build or destroy. So if you're not building, you what? See? Destroying. Make no doubt about it. There's no ifs, ands, and about it. If you're not right, you're what? Wrong. So that means if you're not with me, then you are against me, whether you recognize it or not. You understand? You can't pretend that you're teaching and thinking that you're making something happen. Because in teaching there's a process. In building there's a process also that is making it happen. We have the ability because God is force and power. He is the one that can make things happen and put things into motion. If we live out our mathematics and we take it to the next level of God is building what we draw. If we are tired of talking about what ain't done, it is time for us to do what must be done. Because that is word is born. By us coming together, it is necessary. Because we are at the end of the time. In this nation, we are at a new time. The reason why we know we're going to be successful, because equality is supreme. The equality is not extended to the gods of earth, but it's extended to 85% of the population. Because we recognize that in that process of 85%, we see build and destroy. And we see that they can recognize power, which is the truth. Because they want to save their babies. Just like we want to save them, whether they know it or not. So we must do things that will cause that to happen. And the only one that can do that is the one who understands 85% of the population, because that come out to be what? The master. The one who understands his knowledge. Because the coach is our God. So that master must be our God. We must take control of our destiny, of our future. Because if you don't, then you're not allowing our children and those children around us to see what reality or to see a future. There's no future for them if you do not get on your job. If you do not begin to make things happen that will cause change in your community. And if you can't do it in your community, that only means because you have not done it in your what? Self. It is time for y'all to change. Because until you change, the world cannot change. Until you save yourself, you cannot what? Save no one else. So if you cannot save yourself or make the positive change in yourself by living out what you know, which is the knowledge of self, if you're not living out the knowledge of self, then you're living out the knowledge of something other than self. And that again puts you on the change of destroying. Because nothing happens, like God said, nothing happens until you make it happen. You said you God. It was a God that said that. So you must realize that no change, no true meaning of change will take place until you can start to change. And then you can make a change. So it's time for us to set the example for the community. This is how we will what build. We will teach the 85% to their children and to those who have power. We will teach them that we have the force to affect change, that we have the power to make something happen. So yes, I'm proud to be a part of Universal Black Family Awareness. Because everything fits what I've been taught, what I've been studying for the last 35 years. For all the trials and tribulations and all the brothers who have given their life for this. And there have been many. And the only thing that keeps them in thought is the reality that the black man is God. And that covers the one thing that is the strongest, because that's the foundation. Knowledge is a what? Foundation. And so that keeps me standing, keeps me going on, keeps me taking it on. And like the knowledge, I recognize the wisdom in the cipher. It's the same as my own, through trial and tribulation, through ups and downs. And for the first time, I'm comfortable where I'm at today, in the gods and earth nation. Too bad I cannot now extend this to the gods and earth, because I realize they must come on their own. Well, something has to be said, or the example must be set, so that they can see that this is no joke. It's time to live. You can no longer stay on the God's plan. You must take your place among the builders or the destroyers. Otherwise, the mathematics cannot be complete, because we must realize that because you are God does not get you the born. Because you know you are God does not make you God or born God. We must understand that mathematics go from knowledge to form, back to knowledge. So when you get to God, don't think that's all that you have to do, or you have to contribute to this. We have given it to the simplest of them, because each one must teach one. The knowledge is what go on. If you don't do nothing, you must teach it, otherwise you cannot extend it into infinity. Because life is built into the black man's mind and body to keep reproducing life. And it is not natural for you to neglect your foundation of that process, of that reconstructed term of mathematics. You must extend this, because this is the only way we're going to work through. This is the only way we're going to make the progress, because now you hear the God talk about growth and development. We are extending that to ourselves, because we realize that we must now extend it to the world, because the world is on a path of destruction. Pick up any paper, listen to any tape station. Look at America's Constitution. It is corroded, it is falling. So they are almost back at the time of civilization where they think they're at the peak. And the law said that is when you see the end. So that is what we are saying. That is what we are doing. We are preparing for the end. Because all the weight will come on those who say they know. Because it's going to come a time if you cannot show and prove, you will be just as irrelevant as the Christians, as the Jews, or as anyone who goes against the New World Order. They will not care who you say you are if you cannot show and prove. So it is time for us to show and prove, to take this nation, to take this God and earth body to the next level of mathematics, which is to build and destroy. Because I'm going to say it as plain as I can. If you're not with us, you are against us. You are hindering us And you're hindering our growth and development by not participating. So when you say you're God, just recognize that only shows your ability, your force, and your power. Now the time's for you to show what you can do with it. And that we can do it as one God, because that's what we still teach. It ain't for one God. We put the S on that because we know we come to make knowledge what's born, to save the world. But we know in reality it's only one God. And we know that the best time or the greatest time that we see it is when we all come together. It's not only meaning us coming together, it means when we all agree. Because once we start agreeing, then we start seeing success. That's why Universal Black Family is together. Because like many who represent this reality, we have been on many boards. So we've had experience. We know the time to look for. We know the qualities of things. We know the whole reality of the matter. Because on the board there's 13 members. That's how we sign our bylaws. That we are going to show our word is wrong. When we sign them. So we know we are committed. We have gave our word. And for the first time, I feel successful. And every time my brother is successful, I am successful. I'm not jealous of come together. We must be one. We must build that one. We must make that one. So when you break your word, you break all that oneness that we put to. You break all that
That's
we
peace,
can
girl.
be.
Come to 4:30.
You got to understand, this is our time. This is our time to prepare or die. Build or destroy.
That's right.
This is our time. We keep saying that the devil's time is up. And it's our time. We done gave him his time. It is our time. So you must understand what that means. That if you do not build, we will be destroyed. And when you do not build, you allow the devil to destroy your future. Because when you see death, or you see the death of a black man, you see the death of a potential you. That a man that could be just like you, that could want just what you want. When you see a baby being killed, a black child being killed, you have to realize that that could one day be your child, your son. And it has been proven. All you have to do is keep in the breath of what is going on in this nation of gods and earth. And you will see that it happened. That our babies that are birthed in this, and born into this, are dying. That our elders are dying. Because of the trials and tribulations that we went through and are still going. So make no mistake about it, that in our collectiveness of our knowledge, your knowledge and our knowledge, in order to born that wisdom, that means you got to want what I want. You got to participate in what I participate. Because I take no glory for myself. I always use the gods in the earth to express what I am and what I am to be. Because that is my infinity. That is my equality of the Father. And equality means everything. That is my equality of the Father. And when I acknowledge that equality in you, I acknowledge God in you. Because I acknowledge it in my what? Self. It is in me, the ability to make things happen and to put it in promotion. And it is time for us to come together and to begin to do that. All that bickering and stuff, that is another time. Our life is on the line now. Our baby's life are on the line now. Our children's life are on the line now. Our relationship with our black woman and our earth are on the line now. Because we are beyond the God. Mathematics has taken us to the next level. And as I say, if we do not begin to build, if we do not begin to amplify our ability to make things happen in the foot, then we will be destroyed. Because the devil is doing his job. And if you don't think that he can do it, look what he did in Iraq. Look what he's doing in the Middle East. Look what he's doing to the Islamic countries. I heard a question that the only democracy in the East of all of Islam is Israel. There's no democracy out there. So what is the devil trying to bring to those people?
Copy that. Done it.
If it don't work for us, how do you think it's going to work for those people? Because everything goes from knowledge to form. So Christian, they got to come back to you.
I can't figure out that fucking damn road too long.